The F Trilogy. Very classic trilogy of levels. If I'm going to be totally honest, these might be some of the first 2.1 levels I saw, up there with Wild West. I remember specifically being a kid on one of the school computers, pulling up YouTube on a school computer, and seeing a completion of F. Yes, my teachers allowed me to watch that in school. I don't really understand how that was allowed, but I did it anyway, and I remember loving F back when it came out. Same goes for the second level we're going to be talking about, Words, 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 which is the second level in the trilogy. When that came out, I was like, oh my god, a sequel to one of the coolest levels ever? And it became, in my opinion, the coolest level ever back then. Nowadays, obviously, I don't know what the fuck I was on, probably just ignorance, because these are definitely not the best thing the community has to offer, but that can be said for a lot of masterpieces. And it doesn't need to be the best thing the community has to offer to be a good level. But obviously, based off the way I'm talking about these levels, I'm pretty nostalgia-goggled for these levels. However, I have the same interest that would put these reviews in the right mindset, and that interest is, well, I just want to see if they hold up. I want to review them under the mindset of a just fresh experience with the levels, and I want to properly look at them and see what I think of them. So yeah, in this video, I'm just going to be giving my thoughts on this trilogy of levels and talking about whether or not I like them. So first up in the trilogy, we have the original level, F, by N-Level and Joshua. So, first of all, right off the bat, before we even talk about the decoration or the gameplay, let's talk about the song choice. Now, the song choice, in my opinion, is what makes this level special. The idea of using a Bo Burnham song for a level is kind of an interesting one, and we haven't ever seen anything like it before, or really since. There have been a total of 2 levels, to my knowledge, that have been rated that use a Bo Burnham level. If there's another, please let me know, because I'd love to check it out for the reason of I fucking love Bo Burnham. Bo Burnham is amazing, alright? And that's part of where I'm actually going to go with this segment of the review. I need to talk about the fact that whether or not you like this level will at least in part depend on how much you like Bo Burnham as an artist. If you've never heard of Bo Burnham, and this is your first time hearing his music, the level might not feel as special to you, but if you've been a fan of Bo Burnham as long as I have, the level's gonna feel way more special and more interesting. On top of that, the song itself is really represented well by the gameplay and decoration. The song has a very cluttered and almost all over the place feel, because the gimmick of this song is that it is an actually well-written and good rap song, but the joke is that it uses the F word as many times as possible. This, aside of the copyright issues from being a Bo Burnham song, this is why I can't play the song, by the way, because this is one downside to this level. If you upload footage of this level with the song at all, it pretty much instantly gets age restricted, and that's also why I can't show the entirety of the level here. There's a part that I really like here. Unfortunately, you're going to be seeing it blurred because, well, it's really cool. It's this memory mini-cube section, and it plays really well, and it subtitles the lyrics of the song. And I think that's really cool. Like, normally subtitles are a thing that's hard to get right, but I feel like the best place to have subtitles would be in a memory section. It doesn't overstay its welcome, it's during a very good part of the song for it to be subtitled, in my opinion. It's just a cute little section. However, the visuals of this part can get videos age restricted, so yay! Now, F is a flow level, and a lot of people are very mixed on flow gameplay. Some people love it, some people don't care, and some people absolutely despise it. I'm of the opinion that I don't usually like flow gameplay. I just find that it's usually very annoying to learn, and then when you learn it, the level turns out to be very easy after the learning process, and because of that, I'm not a big fan of flow gameplay. However, coming from someone who's not a big fan of it, this level does flow gameplay very well. It's one of the very few flow levels I've enjoyed, and because of that, I would recommend this even if you're the type of person who doesn't enjoy flow. It is a lot of fun. Now, there are some minor parts here that make the level kind of annoying. Most parts are fine, but you get parts like this wave section right here, which is way harder than anything else in the level, and that's coming from someone who was wave carried when they beat this level and is still wave carried now. This wave part is significantly harder than the entire rest of the level, and yeah, that's a trend we're gonna see through a lot of this series. The decoration's also pretty good, also feeds into that sort of chaotic feel. The level has a mix of rainbow decoration and sort of monochrome grayscale decoration. It's a very interesting and bizarre clash because it is specifically rainbow designs hidden inside of this sort of monochrome design. It's really hard to explain, but it looks really good. It's about a 50-50 split between what is and isn't monochrome. However, the things that are monochrome are usually things you don't need to focus on. And when you think about that, that's a very interesting way to approach it, because the monochrome designs, like I said, are mainly used for the things you don't focus on. And that's a very interesting way to do things and have this sort of opposites feel for the colors, because when you think about it, monochrome is having many shades of one singular color, and rainbow is having every fucking color, so it makes sense for the parts you focus on to be colorful and vibrant, but interestingly clash well with the parts you're not focusing on being monochrome. It makes it so that these parts that are out of focus still stick with you and still end up looking good and still matter, you know, and doesn't just end up being a thing that's in the background and that's it. In general, I really like the gameplay and decoration of F, and on top of that, the song helps it stand out and be a very memorable level. I think F is a masterpiece, and I would give it an easy 10 out of 10. And that brings us to Words, Words, Words. Like F, Words, Words, Words also uses a Bo Burnham song, in this case, Words, 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 which is a Bo Burnham song I like a lot more because, while it also falls under the genre of rap, the whole point of this song is to be as intricate with his wordplay as possible, to the point where almost every line in the song is a pun with a form of double meaning. You get such genius lines like, I'm a gay sea otter, I blow other dudes out of the water, I got a dick full of helium, I'll fuck you up, and my personal favorite, Botox in the third person, I give the perspective a switch and Botox in the third person. It's a really funny song, and it adds a lot to the level because, honestly, in my opinion, it's a better song than F, and it gives the level more character because, you know, it has something to be memorable other than the funny F-word song. The decoration is very similar to F with two key differences. The first is that the decoration is way more cluttered and chaotic visually, with a lot more stuff going on, and the second is that all of the monochrome stuff has been replaced with primarily the color white with a couple shades of gray hidden in there. Not only does it fit the song very well, but it contrasts very well with F as a level, as it uses a very similar decoration style, and yet, by using brighter colors and less monochrome colors, it manages to give off a happy, cheery, playful vibe, just like the song. Whereas F had a more serious in tone sounding song, and so it using darker colors gave it a more serious while still playful look. It's a very interesting duology when you break it down, and in my opinion, these two levels play off each other very well. This is a very rare case where I feel like a sequel absolutely needed to be a sequel. As for the rest of the decoration, it's more of the same from F, pretty much the same style, however I think it actually manages to look just slightly better than F, which makes sense, it is a sequel, but in particular the decoration does a lot of things that help it stand out. Like at the very beginning of the level, it opts in for this puzzle piece design for the background, which people have attempted to emulate and didn't really do that well in my opinion. This level does it perfectly. As for the gameplay, unfortunately we've got some problems with this one. Now at its core, the gameplay is very good, and kind of similar to F, albeit harder, as that makes sense. F is a medium demon, this is a hard demon, so go figure. But in particular, there are a couple moments in this level that I'm just not a big fan of. First of all, there's this part where you have to click 3 green orbs basically off-screen due to a visual effect, which, yeah, that's very annoying, especially when the first green orb can be mistimed. The level also has this mini swing copter at the end, which is way harder than everything else, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of this section. And then there's the wave section. Well, hello there, N-Level. I've brought you here in my basement for one simple question. I feel the need to ask why every single wave section you build sucks. Not talking, huh? Well, sorry, N-Level. Goodbye. Jesus tap dancing Christ, this is one of the worst wave sections I have ever touched. Sure, it's skill-based, Sure, it eventually gets consistent after you play it enough, but it doesn't change the fact that this is one of the most obnoxious, annoying, and irritating wave sections that I have ever played. The click pattern in this is just absolute AIDS. I hate this wave part, and it's not just this level. For some reason, every fucking level N-Level makes has a wave section like this, and I don't understand it. It's the same thing with flat major. I don't understand why every single N-Level wave section sucks dick. Another thing I hate about this level is that it actively makes fun of you for using the LDM. This is a trend that I think has died. I can't tell, but it's a trend that, if not dead, should be dead because it's absolutely obnoxious. Basically, this level, and lots of levels other than this, but this level in particular we're talking about, so a lot of levels like this one feel the need to rip on the player for using LDM. Never mind the fact that Geometry Dash is a mobile game and 99% of the player base isn't going to be able to run the level. Yeah, make fun of the player for not being able to run the level. Sure. In this particular case, the level calls you a if you turn on the LDM. Yeah, I'm not even offended by the slur, because, well, I use the word myself. I'm part of the LGBTQ community before you come after my throat for that. But at the same time, it's like, really? You're gonna fucking call the player a for using the LDM? I'm sorry, but if you don't want people using the LDM, maybe you should optimize your fucking level. With all that out of the way, the wave section may suck, but every other part in this level, aside of some slight issues here and there, is pretty good, and I'm going to give Words a 7 out of 10. The next level, and the final level in the trilogy we're going to be talking about, is Rap. However, before we start talking about that, I would like to put this aside for a second and talk about the trilogy as a whole. As I mentioned in the intro, this trilogy is something that I'm insanely nostalgic towards, and that's because I saw the levels when they first came out, which is crazy to think how long ago that was at this point. However, the third level in particular, Rap, I had never heard of. I didn't know this level existed until about 4 or 5 months ago. So I have no nostalgia goggles for this level. I'm going in with a completely different tone. And obviously the nostalgia goggles affected the first 2 levels, not that much, because I was able to still pretty accurately reveal words. But for this, I'm going in with a completely different mindset, because I had never seen the level before this, and because of that, I just want you to be aware of the bias, and so if there's a shift in tone here, that's probably why, although it really shouldn't affect the video that much. And finally, we end on Rap. So I have mixed feelings about this level. On one hand, it's really well made, but on the other hand, I don't think it works that well as a sequel to F and Words, but, well, let's just talk about it. So first of all, the gameplay. I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel that right talking about the gameplay, at least not yet. See, like the other levels, this is a flow level, it's very learny, and I haven't actually tried to practice this level yet. However, the most I'll say is that from what I've played so far, it plays really, really well and feels really fun. Albeit, it is easily harder than the other 2. This level is so much harder than Words. So as for the decoration, before I talk about it, I need to address something that I meant to bring up earlier in the review because it's important here, but I'm gonna bring it up now because it's important here. So all 3 of these levels are collabs. F is by Joshua in N-Level, Words is by Salaxium in N-Level, and Rap is by Dark Cacti and N-Level. I bring that up here because I think the decoration in Rap is really, really good. One of the only flaws with it, which we'll get into the other flaw later, but the only flaw that I see in Rap is that unlike the other 2, you can kind of sniff out the creator's style in it a bit more. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just more F and Words felt like their own thing and their own level with their own identity. Rap, you can absolutely tell is a Dark Cacti level. In particular, it reminds me a lot of On-Site. A lot of the things done with the decoration in this level just scream On-Site. Not only just the effects that are used throughout the level, but even stuff like the end screen ending on the album art. It's very similar, and I don't mind that necessarily because it's a really good level. However, it does kind of make me a little sad that it doesn't fall into the same style as the first two, because imagine they took that style and they enhanced it a fuck ton and made it even better, but I digress. The other issue I have with the decoration is just that the art of Lil Darky that's used throughout the level looks a bit stilted and strange, and it's badly animated, and it just looks a little goofy. Just kind of feels forced is all, kind of an early 2.1 feel, which is weird for a level that's late 2.1. Just strange animations through and through, it just looks a bit sloppy. Now, as for that detail, you're probably wondering, why is there art of Lil Darky in this level? Well, that's the most disappointing part of this level to me. It doesn't use a Bo Burnham song, or hell, even just a song by a stand-up comedian like the first two levels did. This one uses a song by Lil Darky. Now, I get it, they're both comedy-based musicians, but Bo Burnham and Lil Darky are two completely different things, in my opinion. And on top of that, Lil Darky, as far as I'm concerned, has become kind of overused in the GD community a bit. That's not to say I dislike Lil Darky's music, it has its place in the community and it's really good. But this is the F series, and this is a little bit of a higher standard, in my opinion, than something like Crackhead Circles. And I feel like thematically, it didn't even have to be Bo Burnham, but thematically it would have just worked better if there was sort of at least an homage to that style of music, you know, stand-up comedian joke song type music. Because imagine if this level went the route of using a song by someone like Ninja Sex Party, or Lemon Demon, or The Lonely Island. I think that would have worked way better, in my opinion. I mean, fuck, imagine if this used, like, a Starbomb song. That'd have been sick, but no, instead it's Lil Darky, and I just think under the context of this series, that is a little bit disappointing, and that's coming from a Lil Darky fan. Ignoring a lot of what I've said, though, I still think the decoration's really solid, the gameplay's really solid, the song usage is really good. Like, as much as I wish this wasn't the song that was picked, the song is used really well, and I have to appreciate it for that. It's kind of funny, because as its own level, this is amazing, but as a sequel to F in Words, 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 that's when it starts to get a little bit disappointing. And I'm gonna actually give this level 2 scores because of that. So as far as I'm concerned, as a sequel to F in Words, 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 this level's probably about a 4 out of 10. But as a level on its own, this is a 10 out of 10. This level is absolutely amazing. And I think it's best if you don't view this as a sequel, because really that's the only way it ends up falling off, in my opinion. And that was the F Trilogy. Regardless of anything I've said in this video, these are all damn fine levels. Levels you should absolutely play, as they are amazing. All of these levels have nongs, just to be warned, and on top of that, F will get your video age restricted, unless you choose not to activate the lyrics trigger at the beginning of the level, and you use the instrumental, which I don't even know if you can get the instrumental, but just know that. And yeah, this is an amazing series of levels that you should absolutely play. Banger, and yeah, that all being said, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, usual interaction, reminders, YouTuber stuff. Comment down below, tell me if you've played any of these 3 levels, and if you enjoyed them or didn't enjoy them. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.